What is up, everybody? What are we looking at over here?
I don't know.
If you are watching from the
replay.
the
If you're
replay,
watching from the replay.
yes, from the replay. My name is Joe,
And I'm Jessica.
and we are full-time resellers.
Are we? I had no idea.
Sometimes we are.
What?
Yes, but we're having issues with our other stream, with our Wi-Fi. For some reason, our internet's not streaming very well today, so we decided to go ahead and stream from Jessica's phone.
What's up, lame-o?
And
my favorite lame friend.
the lame people have started to arrive. What's going on, Mary? It's the first scheduled live stream we've had in a while.
We're just, look, y'all. Here, let me just explain.
We don't work overtime, Craig. Hardly ever.
We do, just not conventionally.
Yeah.
I would say that we do. I mean, we don't list, but like when we're inside, like I'm on my phone checking eBay stuff, and
I guess in the scheme of like sitting, working, listing, sourcing,
we don't do enough of that.
Yeah.
We should do more of that, but everything else.
Yeah.
We're very visionary and like in nature, so we like to spend a lot of time like, how do we grow it? How do we make it bigger? How do we do... We're going to get into that. But, like, we actually went to lunch today, and I was like, look, I'm shop talked out. Like, I need...
I couldn't talk about it anymore.
No, look, we've been talking about it all morning, and now we've been talking about it all afternoon. Like, so, yeah, I was like, let me just have, like, 45 minutes where we can talk about something else. And it was good.
We did. Although I think we just sat there and just stared off into space because
I was so tired.
We're tired. She's been getting up like at 4 a.m. to go do CrossFit. And so when she gets up at 4, I wake up at 4 because Lucas is not happy that Mama is leaving without him. So, yes.
Yes.
It's going to Reseller King.
He's my other lame-o friend.
Yeah, all these lame people. You attract all the weird lame people.
I like them.
Yeah. Yes.
I like them a lot. Well, okay, so getting into what we're talking about, which is this week has been one of those times where I am so thankful that Joe and I do the boring work of trying to figure out what our why is and making sure that we know. What is that?
What's that?
I don't know. Whitney brought in some packages or something.
What is that?
What is it?
It's that rug wrench that didn't sell at the other flea market.
Oh, flea market stuff.
Okay.
Sorry, y'all.
Squirrel.
But we're having to revamp some things. In terms of,
I don't know about revamp. It's the
not
right.
really revamp. What's the word? What's the right word then?
I guess Reseller King. If you go to eBay Open, you won't be lame. I don't know.
No,
that's her.
Listen, Josh, Reseller King, Reseller Man. I think we're always gonna be like lame. If you go to eBay Open, you'll still be lame. Other people maybe not so much, but I think that we've kind of got this. We got this thing now, and I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what's going on, Bolo buddies.
Don't go. Stay lame.
I want to go. Just the networking aspect of it. I don't really care about the information.
I care.
It's like, because you can get all the information from, we'll probably report some of the information. But somebody's going to be talking about the information. So I really just want to go just to meet everybody, because there's not very many chances that you will get that will have all of these people that you watch together in the same place at the same time. So that's
this
why I
right
want to
here.
go.
This is my bullet journal. It has like everything in it, and it organizes my life. And I probably go through one of these every 2 to 3 months, and I take notes, and I always have information in here. So he's gonna go and want to network and learn things, but I'm always taking notes. Like anytime any of y'all do live streams, I've got this thing open because sometimes y'all put out them nuggets and I have to get them. So, okay, seriously, y'all, I gotta tell you this about this week. I want to tell you.
And if you followed any of our journey for a while, you will see that we continually change directions. Not really directions, but
Pathways.
if you think of big ships, they have the tiny, what's that little steering thing? Oh, dang it. Brain fart. I use this example and I can't even think. The little thing that's underneath the bottom of the boat.
Rudders?
Rudders?
No. No, that's not right. What's a rudder? I don't know.
Rudder.
Rudder. Okay,
That's right.
It is a rudder.
So, like, we've got this ship of our life.
Hey, bargain effect.
And that sometimes our rudder, I'm thinking of udder. Like, that's why
That's not the same.
Sometimes our rudder, it gets pointed off a little bit and just the little bit in the wrong direction. And if you don't realize it, you're steering off course without realizing it. So for us, as we go and we try and we live life and we do, trying to balance, special projects with
everything else,
YouTube and with reselling and with family and all of these core beliefs that we have, is that we have to adjust ourselves in how we have to adjust our rudder to make sure that we're not getting off course. So we've kind of had that.
If we're going from point A to point B, and something, whether that be like an immediate need, gets us off course just a little bit, at first you can't really tell, right? But as you go and as you start driving or sailing in his case, this direction, you're gonna find yourself getting farther and farther away from point B. And so we learned this the hard way when we were doing bin sales in our warehouse. Yes, we were making lots of money. It was solving the immediate need of, hey, we need to flip this stuff quick. But we started to realize, and it wasn't until we had gotten to a place where we were like very, very far away from our point B that we realized that we had to re-navigate, and that took a lot. I think that if we had done the research beforehand, we may even still have the warehouse, and it would have been great. But
sorry, we're on our phone, so I can't really see the live chat, so I'm having to pull it up on my phone.
Yeah, we're having internet issues. But so yes, what I was saying was we learned the hard way and had to do a lot more to get back on track. So at this point in our lives, we don't want to do that again. So I don't know. We're just trying to figure out exactly what we want to do and how it fits into our overall grand scheme of things.
It's in life, we can very much get lost in the moment and so focused on this week, this month, right now, with different type of life needs, reselling needs, trying to grind. I mean, most resellers, and in the grand scheme of things, it's very much the American thing, like where a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. We don't have huge amounts of money in savings we used to, but life has happened, bad decisions here and there, just things happen. So we're trying to be more proactive in seeing where we are going and how we're getting there, and then realize, like, no, this isn't the best course of action. Like this right here isn't exactly where the direction that we want to be going. So we are in that moment where we're, adjusting our rudder. So
that's really good.
Yeah, but that was just really good.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, what else do you? What I mean, I'm trying to think of like how I'm not very good at telling this story, so I'm trying to.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like we were going. It's like we've had this goal, or we had this goal of we were really trying to work towards listing 300 items per week that profited us at least $10. Right, for most of the items that we sell is a 100% sell-through rate. Some items are 50%, some items are 200%, but overall, like our inventory with the stuff that we purchase generally has 100% sell-through rate. So as you can see, that rush to 300, like that's a profit of $10,000 to $12,000 per month, right? So we were jumping it up. Sorry, somebody's calling me. This is my mom.
Hey, Mom. Call you back in a minute.
We were getting ramped up, or this summer we took it really easy. We took lots of time off. We're listing about 100 items per week. And then it started going up to where, about 150 items per week. And then, we're getting to where we're getting 200 items done per week. And they're like, okay, well, let's get 300 items per week, right? And then we started trying to source that out. It got very difficult to find the items that we wanted that brought us the $10 profit per item. We would have to get out of our sourcing strategy, or spend $30 on an item to make 10, which we'd be okay with if we had the capital. Like, I don't mind, buying an item for $30 to profit $10 if it's going to sell in a few weeks. Like, that's, to me, I'd make 25% over the course of a month if I had the money. But we don't have a huge stockpile of money. Like, it's really, you got to have the money to make money. So really, we're focused on those items that do sell quickly. I'd say that it's before Whitney lists, anywhere from 100 to 150 items per week. And then Jessica was doing a lot of listings, prepping listings for our virtual assistant, Wally. And he was doing as many as we can get him. Some it was 60, some 100, but he's really good. Like, he could probably do just listings. I'm not talking about like if we prep it on our end, like he lists for us digital cameras and GPSs. The testing process, we could easily do 50 of those per day, and he could easily list 50 of those per day.
Which would be
easy.
Great.
But we just can't find that much for the margins that we want. I mean, we tried, the liquidation. We did an unboxing where we bought a big liquidation lot of cameras. We made some money on it, but it wasn't the margins that we wanted. It wasn't, not really even the margins. It wasn't the profit dollars that we were wanting.
Right.
So like, until we can really find a source, which we haven't been able to find one, that we've decided that we're just going to go at 200. Like, we've always had this, we both have this desire. Like, for me, it's, I want to be big. Like, how big can we get this? For like, anytime I start something new, I'm like, all right, well, how big can I get this to be? Like, how large, how big? And so obviously with that, it's like, okay, well, next step, warehouse. So we've had this dream and this desire. I don't even know if it's a dream. I would say a desire, to get a warehouse like this spring, to take advantage of opportunities that we have, but just also be able to buy truckloads. And I'm like, man, is that really what we want? Like, do we really want that? Like, it's nice, but then you're looking at adding $3,000 a month in cost. We've kind of been down that road before. It becomes a lot more demanding as far as money goes. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't know if that's something that I want in my life right now.
Yeah, I mean, when you really think about and this is, Joe and I, like, the big reason why we took on something like this was for the freedom. It was for the ability to homeschool our children, to work from home, to be present with our kids, to do all of these things. And when we had the warehouse, one of the main reasons why we closed it down was that it was taking all of us. Our kids, they weren't getting what we promised them, and they weren't even getting a little bit.
They were getting the leftovers of two tired, wore out people.
And it was like, that's not what we wanted. That's not the life that we wanted to live. And I get the persevering until we get to that point, but that's just not what Joe and I had envisioned. But we know that we can live comfortably. We're not gonna, I'm not really looking for like the fanciest, nicest house and the fanciest, nicest things in our home and everything like that. I'm just looking for time with my family. If that means that we, and honestly, our house is nice. Like, it's a nice home. It's not, it doesn't have all the gadgets and gadgets in there, but it's nice. It's comfortable. It's heated. Like, we have 2 bathrooms and 3 bedrooms and it's wonderful. And I love it. And I'm not, what's that word that people use nowadays? The young kids use? Bougie. I'm not bougie, Like,
I'm not either. I wear the same polo shirts.
I have like,
if you have polo shirts or you go thrifting and you see solid color polos with no
pockets or emblems.
No pockets, no logos, I need some. Like, I was asking around and I've been looking at people's stores. Like, I need some polos. So if you see some, I don't want to go buy new.
Yeah, I have
bougie.
one pair of jeans and 3 or 4 pairs of like workout leggings and maybe like 10 tops or so.
We're more about the
So-
experience of life and
Yeah.
not stuff. I would love to say extra large, but I'm a little fat these days.
I think probably extra XXL.
Yeah, we started CrossFit back in August. We both did, but then I got hernia, and my intestines were trying to bulge out of my body.
Stop it. And then he's feeling better. He's like, yeah, I think I'm ready to go. I think I'm ready to go back. And and I'm like having to go by myself. Then we go bowling.
We went bowling. We went bowling, and I had 3 beers and messed my wrist up. And it hasn't healed. It's been over 2 months. And just when like I feel like my wrist is healing and I get to go back to CrossFit, it like, oh.
I've been going to CrossFit though. It's been awesome.
It's been stressful times, like with all the stuff that we have had going on the last few months. That I'm the body type that my body's like, ooh, stress. Let me hoard all that fat. So I'm an extra large right now. But I wish I was an extra large. But I need to be extra large very soon. Very soon.
So, yes, off the rabbit trail, coming back to what we were talking about, is that we had to really come to terms with what's really important to us. And as much as I would really love to have, like, a warehouse and have the 300 listings a day, woo, that'd be awesome.
A lot.
300 listings a week and all of those things, the cost of that in terms of time and in terms of there's something else besides time that was very important, but I lost it.
It's just expensive.
It's expensive. It's something. It's a cost we're not really willing to pay.
We went down that road last year. It's like last year we did like $360,000 in sales.
Spartan races.
And we made less money last year than we did the year before when we did $192,000. It's because we had extra added costs. We had staff that was very expensive. My bad. So we've kind of we've seen these things like, is that really, we want to have that. We want, like Whitney, like she better not ever leave. So Whitney, if you're watching this ever,
don't you ever
leave.
We know where you live.
She allows us to have the freedom to just go, to be able to go on vacation, take the day off early, all those things. And we know that the business is still going to be taken care of. Sweet, a sale.
Yay!
That's going to be taken care of. But like, we want more. But like, for us, like, for the items that we list, that's why, for us, like, we do the liquidation goods because it's fun. Whitney, it provides us to have those higher profit margin items, those higher profit dollars, because you can buy a pallet for, $600 and have, depending on what it is, and make lots of money on it. And we like that, but like, we sell items that are all the same because how much time it actually takes to list. Like, it's like, if I was to list cell phones, I could probably, and we were able to have an exponential amount, like I could easily do 30, 40 to 50 a day. I know, like, for instance, during our prime when we were doing, $30,000 a month between just Whitney and I, like, we were cranking out 400 to 500 listings a week just between the two of us. But we had a good system, a good routine. I did see the scarves, but I don't know how many people want to buy the stuff that we have. Like, we could probably do one. You'd probably like to do scarves. I don't know what sellers are, rather the honest something. I don't know. It's I know what it means about helping sellers. Like, you get to do a video, you got items that you could sell, and you have links to your stores. We could probably do that.
Yeah.
But I say all that to just say that I got distracted by a squirrel. Is just selling items that are really all the same or pretty consistent, because that will allow you to list so much faster. You can get in a routine, even if you don't sell all of the same item, when you do list as many of the same like items together as possible. Like if you have a bunch of polo shirts, list them all at the same time, or shirts or pants or whatever it is that you sell. Like try to group them together, because you will become much more efficient when listing, which would create a lot of productivity.
That was good. Good job.
So I set out to say that. So like for us, like 200 items, you know, that's the minimum goal. You know, that would be with me. And also, like, we've been doing all this, like, you know, with this journey to 300 that we are on, you know, that would mean that Jessica couldn't edit videos, right? And she likes editing videos, but she just couldn't. So, like, we began outsourcing videos. But then, like, we've been on this journey the last few weeks of, like, we've been falling in love with the art of filmmaking and doing some...
telling stories.
So we're learning through telling stories and trying to tell the story of our lives and introducing different characters. So if you've seen a lot of videos, they probably looked a little bit different than they have in the past. If you haven't seen them, check them out. And
we're just trying to tell a story.
Yeah, but with the list of 300 to 300, like, she couldn't really do that. Like, then you know, YouTube kind of becomes a back page, and we love doing this. So it's like, if we could have the lifestyle that we want, still like 200 items per week at $10, that's still $2,000 a week profit. Like, that's still $100,000 a year. Like, for us, like, we're in Arkansas. Like, it's like the 49th cheapest state to live in America. Like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Granted, if you're in San Francisco or California or the more expensive places, that's not. But here in Arkansas, like, that's cheap. Like, we don't have a car payment, you know. We don't own this home. We do rent just because we don't know what kind of house we want to buy or build yet. So it's like, we're not going to buy a house that we don't know exactly what we're wanting, and then be stuck in it. And then plus, I really don't know how the housing market's going to be in 3 or 4 years, just because of, I don't know if you remember anything about the housing burst several years ago. Well, it's the same trend is still occurring. So at some point, there's probably going to be another housing bubble. So, hello, Simply Dana. And yeah, we say all that. Like, we're just finding ourselves losing parts of us that we really want to do, but it's for this, like, 300 items, you know. Like, that's a lot of items, but we can't do all that, you know. Plus, I mean, we could if we could sell on Amazon. We can't, like, you know, it's in the future plans to be able to do that, but only wholesale items. So, yeah, if you're just jumping on, we've just been given that little update about our journey, kind of adjusting our business plan, our strategy, realizing that our rudder.
Oh my gosh.
Our rudder was pointed slightly off course.
Joe's udder was crooked.
My udder was crooked. It was over there. Watch out for overspray. I got nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
Oh, no. That's enough. That's enough.
So, that's where we've been. And,
and, you know, it's one of those things. I'm just very, very thankful that we have a passion, and we have a why, and we have, like, this deep-rooted desire to do something, because when times like this happen, you know, I'm not finding myself stressed and unhappy and not really sure why.
Mm-hmm. Don't do it.
Don't milk him. Don't milk him.
That's scary. I'm in a 2XL shirt. If that, I've got A cups right now.
That's disgusting.
Hey, it's true.
Stop.
Not proud of it, but I can laugh about it. So, yeah.
So Joe's adjusting his udders. I'm adjusting my rudder, and it's good. It's good. It's really, it's like a huge weight off my shoulder.
And I was starting to feel the pressure of, like, you know, we talked about this warehouse come, you know, March, April, May, and
June,
I'm like,
July, August.
You know, somewhere around in there. And, you know, when we closed down our warehouse, you know, that was a plan that we had told a lot of people, like, you know, we're going to do this again one day, but not right now. So I kind of felt in bondage to those, you're welcome, You're welcome. I felt in bondage to like this plan that I no longer, and maybe one day, but like our kids are just becoming like, we're like, they're not, they can do stuff. Like Lucas is,
How old is he?
20 months now. So he'll be 2 in March. And like Lucy's in 3. They're both still in diapers because Lucy, she doesn't want to go.
No. She can.
She doesn't like to go doo-doo in the potty. I just taught her doo-doo the other day. I did.
I missed it. What did it say?
His wife quit a $29 an hour job to go back to school. And, yeah, and that's the thing. It's like when you live by faith, like you said, and you live according to where you feel like you're going to be, you're going to get taken care of. I feel like a lot of people, we start operating out of fear, and I've done it. That's I made all kinds of decisions out of fear, and they never work out right. But when we do make decisions out of fear, especially business-wise, we start buying stuff like, oh, I need the money, I need the sales, and we start making those decisions. It doesn't work out well.
And I also want to mention that there are a lot of people with mindsets where the decision that Joe and I make, or that a lot of business people might make, that where people find security in money, they find security in like chasing that what we call the American dream. That there are going to be a lot of times like, and if you ever find yourself in this kind of situation where you're like, man, I'm like really not happy where I'm at, I'm willing to make a little less or earn a little less and live a more modest lifestyle so that I can live the lifestyle that I want, or I can live happily, that a lot of people are going to be afraid of that.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are going to try to convince you otherwise. And I think a lot of people, they'll put fear in you. They'll put their fears of what they believe to be true about the world, and they'll put that on you, and it'll make you, I don't know, sometimes it makes you want to stop. Like there have been times where people have said that to me, and I'm like, I know that this is what I want to do, but now I'm so afraid that what I'm going to do is going to completely, because there's a lot riding on your shoulders. I mean, you've got a business, you've got finances, you've got bills to pay, you've got all of these things, and I'm not by any means saying don't work. I just mean do what you love. And yeah, so I don't know why I wanted to say that. I just
feel like, with that, like, people become a cog. I don't know about being afraid.
What?
I'm not sure. Piece that together.
We're missing a transition sentence here.
People become a cog in the American dream. It's the American dream, the land of opportunity. You go to you're born, you go to school, you graduate high school, then you go to college. You graduate from college, you go get the job, and then you find the woman, and then or the man, and then you get a house, and then you have kids. Like you become like a cog. Like you become stuck in that, and anytime that somebody lives counter to that, okay, I got you, that you live counterculture to that, people are afraid of that. They like, oh, like that's not how you're supposed to do things. Like you're supposed to, especially people in the generations prior to us, like being an entrepreneur, working for yourself, which a lot of people, that watch this are part-time resellers. It's not your profession. You do it because you want the extra money, or you need the extra money. You'd love to do it full-time, but there's not a lot of safety and security in it. It's very like scary. But generations prior to us, especially Gen X and baby boomers, like baby boomers especially, like they worked at the same job for 40 years and they hated for 38 years, but they stuck there because of security. So when somebody like us, we quit our jobs to do something that's not secure, we're like, what are you doing leaving a secure job where you got benefits and a retirement package? Maybe you get that. Like, it's just people think that you're crazy, and then they place fears. They use it in the name of wisdom. What's so funny?
I just caught up with the whole conversation between.
We're on our phone, so it only pops up for like
sorry.
a second.
He said, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt. You can finish what you were needing to say.
I don't think I'm done now.
Tommy says, how do we go from rudder to utter to bondage? Am I missing? Family flipping 50 Shades of Grey.
Hey. 50 Shades of Family Flips.
No, we were just getting real and like authentic. I'm sorry. No, but it was the utter rudder thing was not.
That was an accident.
That was an accident.
Because that was earlier. I think I said utter, like it makes me think of utter because we were confused about the word. So there we go.
Now it all makes sense now.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what you mean. Do I think about YouTube when making any decisions?
No, we did for a little while, just being really honest about it. I think there are a lot of reasons why people do YouTube, but a big desire for Joe and me and why we want to do YouTube is that we want to share some of the things that we've learned along the way. And we want to be, I don't know, I feel like we're really called to be open about what's going on. I think that talking about not just our successes, but talking about our failures and talking about how we overcome those and developing a community that holds each other accountable, and really encouraging people to step out and do things that make their heart sing, that they have passion for, not to be stuck because they feel like there's no other way out. And I think that that's the main reason why we do YouTube. That's the big why. And that's how, and we never made YouTube separate from our belief system. We want to use YouTube to help accomplish it. That doesn't mean that every now and then we've gotten really excited about opportunities and maybe we went for a little while doing YouTube videos that we didn't really like. Joe hated YouTube at first.
Hated it.
We were really struggling.
And I'm just now starting to enjoy YouTube. Like I don't know how many, we've made 70, 80 videos.
Yeah.
And we've been doing this since like June of 2018.
Yeah.
And I'm just now starting to like it.
Well, those videos where we just sit down, like if you go back like a couple of months, I mean, I would probably say the first 60 videos maybe. Except for our live videos and our unboxing videos. We really enjoyed doing those. But like the videos where we're sitting here and we're like, we're going to tell you 3 things that you need to know about da-da-da-da-da, right? We hated doing those videos.
Hated it.
But we knew and we felt called to do something. We knew that YouTube had something to do with this and we just didn't know what it was. And it wasn't until recently we came across some vloggers and we came across Peter McKinnon and his, like how he does like cinematography and photography and all of those things. And the idea, it was Casey Neistat actually that we were watching too, and how he tells stories and how people respond and they relate to beginning, middle, and end when it comes to telling a story. And how can we take what we know and how can we take our experiences and show them in stories? How can we teach what we've experienced through stories? And it wasn't until we got that revelation and we were like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And now we have this key. We're not very good at it, but we're learning. And we're just kind of trying to figure out how to do it. But I don't want YouTube to be something separate from what the Family Flips represents. I want YouTube to be something that enhances it.
It's just a vehicle that carries what we're trying to do.
Right. And yes, we have made some decisions because of YouTube. And that's why we've been so not very happy with YouTube. And that's why we've been really struggling with it because it didn't really, we were trying to make it fit something that we believed it was. And it wasn't until we kind of stepped back and we're like, okay, what's really going on? We started doing some research. We came across some of these vloggers and storytellers and we realized, this is what we want to do. Aw, thanks, Reseller King. We're a place for lamos everywhere.
What's going on, Gate City? I said hello in the chat and right here.
Ooh.
And it's like I refuse to make videos just to get views. I don't want to do that. I just, some people, they like, some people like, you know, for whatever it is, like some people in life, they do things because they have a need to be seen. They need to be liked. They need to have their validation comes from all of these things, from how many likes or views that they get, all those things. Like for us, it's like we just want to do, like with YouTube, we want to do the best that we can do with showing our true selves, not a segmented part of our lives where it's just reselling, but we also want to give it in a quality way to where we're filming it well, we're editing well, we're taking pride in all of those things, and that's really all we ask for. Like if the video that gets 100 views, then that's, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Then that's really what we're after. Is that like I could do videos, like, you know, like you think reselling, the videos that generally get the most views are the what sold videos, the unboxings or the thrift hauls. Those traditionally get the most views, and I understand like people want to learn and they want to see those things, like they want to like, oh, that's a cool thing to buy. And I get like you get a dopamine hit and you feel like part of like you're part of it. Like I get all that, but like we don't really, you know, and we may do some of it, but like I don't really enjoy doing those.
We are full-time resellers, but I can guarantee you we're not the best resellers out there.
No.
Like you want to see like a professional, amazing reseller, go check out Chris from Daily Refinement. Like he's got it like down. Like you've got all these other people that are just so amazing out there who are resellers. We don't need to repeat their content. Like they have it out there. We will gladly point you in the, you know, if you're up in the North area, we've got people up there that we know that I guarantee you can reach out and talk to. Like this is a huge community of people. And
there's a lot smarter people out there than me.
Yeah, I don't want to repeat what other people are doing. All these other people, they've got great content out there. Like, let me send you, like, if you ask me something, I don't know it, or I kind of know it, but somebody's got a video out there, like, I'm going to send you their video, like, because it's awesome. But what we can offer is we can offer our experiences. We can offer how we felt about it. We can offer our response to life and how it's affected us and what we've learned and how we've overcome and come through it. And that's really what we want to do.
Yeah.
That's really what we want to offer.
Yeah. So say all that to say, like, you know, we're going with 200 items per week to create time, because we want to do, you know, we want to be able to have the opportunity to make 4 or 5 videos per week. If there's stories, there's things that are to be told. We don't want to make a video just to make a video. Like, I think you could probably tell when people make a video, sale.
We got another sale.
You could probably tell when people make a video just to make a video. Like
y'all are so nice. I'm a words of affirmation person, which means that my love language is when people say really nice things about me. And y'all are so like filling my love tank right now.
I'm not a words of affirmation people.
Oh, and Danny May, I'm excited to see your videos when they come out next week. I'm excited. And then let's see. Simply Dana says that she loves us because we're genuine.
Oh,
she likes us.
I'm genuine. It's not even a real hair color, like
Maui. You know, I honestly thought about dyeing it back brown so that I could put like some bohemian like raps and stuff in it. But
not
y'all like
Bohemian Rhapsody.
That is also a very good song, though.
Could you put music in there?
No.
Do they have little things that you can
Anyway, but y'all like the purple so much, I think I'll keep it for a little while. Just for y'all.
Plus, I dreamed about a purple-headed girl.
Maui Delight says that they enjoy watching our channel, that we're both humble, full of knowledge, and a joy to watch. Oh my God.
Thank you.
Bolo Buddy says we have to do what works for us and makes us happy. So right. You so right.
It's like, I love to go to a thrift store, but I walk in that place, and I'm like, I don't even know what to buy.
Tommy says you'll find out people that succeed on YouTube with longevity are open and real plus likable. The rest will either become stagnant or rise and crash. Just be real. That's all it takes. Agreed. I wish there was like a like button, like, you know, on like Facebook, like. And then Reseller Man likes our energy and aims to live his life more like us. Hey, you are like us. We are lamos together.
I'm not a lamo.
He just wishes he was lame-o, but he's just not lame-o enough for the lame club, so. Y'all are so sweet.
Oh, y'all have any questions out there?
I don't know. What you guys
We've
want?
talked for
We've updated y'all
a really
on
long
what's going on
time.
with us and our struggles. And
so that's the deal. Like 200 items per week. You know, we are sticking to our sourcing plan. You know, of cell phones and tablets, cameras, GPSs. Like that's our bread and butter. But then we're also looking for opportune buys for pallets and liquidation lots. Like that's really the key, is like, you know, especially like it's November, about December, right? So like we all know, like come January, February, like sales be dipping a little bit. So we're really just trying to stick to that sourcing strategy.
the sourcing strategy.
The sourcing strategy. And you know, look at fine tuning.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll grow our business as long as I mean, we still want to grow and we still want to make it better, just not at the expense of why we're doing it.
Yeah.
And that also means that we may not be getting a warehouse as soon as we thought. It's not off the table.
Yeah.
Like
but it's okay.
Yeah, it's not off the table. I mean, we may get to a point where we can hire some employees and we can start an operation.
I mean,
but
we've got 800 square foot here. Like we've got a 500 square foot garage that we have. Then we have, it's probably about a 300 square foot. It's a carport that I rigged it. I just made a wall.
He did a good job. He told me he's not handy, but that
And,
wall looks great.
You know, then if we have to, you know, if we're not ready to get a warehouse yet, because here they're expensive. Like the last warehouse that we had, we were only paying $900 per month, and it was 2,500 square feet, right? But it was good if we only wanted to sell online. But now, like, we know that we want to have something centrally located so that we could build the Facebook business if we choose to, which we want to because there's items to just sell. But that's expensive. Like all those places.
Maybe not expensive for all y'all in the.
But for here
it's pretty.
It's like, you know, we can get like a 5,000 square foot space for probably around $4,000, but it's going to cost a lot to heat and cool that thing. Especially if we're going to have, because we want to, if we do that, we want to be able to have, you know, bin sales not be open for bin sales all the time, but like once a month, order 6 or 7 pallets just to have for a bin sale, and do kind of like a falling prices event where like on Thursday, everything is like $4 and then $2 on Friday, then $1 on Saturday and 50 cents on Sunday. You'd be amazed how much junk people buy when stuff's 50 cents. It's crazy. So that's all part of it, of what we're wanting to do. And that's good, man. Like that's, you know, I got a frog in my throat.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, and that's awesome. Like, you know, it's just, you know, what you need in life. And, but we're just gonna maximize the space. And I've already got plans like I can do out back. You know, we get a storage unit put out there, like a 200 or 300 square foot storage unit, be able to put stuff. So like I've got it mapped out of what we can do for long term if it gets that way.
Yeah.
The udder's off.
No, I think we were on an udder.
We were on an udder.
And now we fixed the udder. The udder is aligned.
Yeah. So
the rudder is aligned. I got it.
Yes. The udder is aligned.
The rudder is aligned.
But that's kind of the plan, what we're gonna do. And I guess this will be next year, will be year number 6 of full-time reselling. I've learned so much, so many failures, lots of failures. And we as people, as adults, we really learn, we say we want to learn the easy way, but generally speaking, we learn the hard way. We learn through mistakes. But
you do.
I don't know what she's talking about.
No, I'm just saying.
You learn valuable lessons when you lose money.
Yes, but if I'm just being honest with you, you know that if it was up to me, there are a lot of decisions we wouldn't have made. We wouldn't have grown. You know, we'd be still in the 81 square foot bedroom. There's a flip side
on Mildred Street, listing 80 cell phones a week.
No, there is a flip side. Yes, we wouldn't have grown. I'm just saying, I tried to avoid mistakes, experiential mistakes, which...
Biggest mistake that we have learned from.
How about buying 24 pallets of Amazon small box?
Buying $10,000 worth of stuff and not really having an idea of how you're going to move it. That was one of them. I'd say
getting loans from people and not researching the company you're getting it from.
Yeah, we took out a bad loan, put us in a bad
awful.
spot. You know, stuff happens.
We're finally out from
another
that.
one was hiring to grow instead of
oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, like
growing and then hiring to
like
facilitate
last year
that growth.
we hired to grow. We're like, we have all this opportunity, like let's hire some people and I'll just start buying more stuff. And then, you know, that happened. We hired people too much money, not getting the value there. They were a friend. And
hiring friends is hard too.
Didn't really should have had conversations a lot earlier on, and it really put us in a bind. So all those are big ones, you know.
And that's not all of them.
Yeah. I mean, those are just the big
Those are the
money
those are the
costers.
ones that, like, some of them we're still paying for.
Yeah.
Like, those are big mistakes.
Yeah, and that's really like, you know, it's like last year was like, it was just bang, bang, bang. You make like and it was it last year?
We did a lot. Here's why. We did not communicate very well. For the past, I want to say it's been about a year now that we've really been focusing on, wow, we're two completely different people.
Yeah.
We communicate two completely different ways. So it was one of those, I was going along to get along, and he was just jumping, and he didn't have anybody to say, hold on now, let's talk about this. And then he was going along to get along, and we were missing opportunities. So it was just very, like, not balanced. We weren't very good partners, and it cost us a lot of, like, mistakes and stuff. So I would probably say the biggest mistake, I mean, we could have avoided a lot of that if we had learned how to communicate earlier. Yeah. But, you know, it is what it is. We're here now.
Yep. I'd say the biggest mistake is we didn't work on communication sooner.
Yeah. Yeah. We were both very passive about it.
We have a counselor that we go and talk to
about once a month
to help us communicate to, you know, sometimes we're prideful people. We refuse to look at stuff, like me, maybe. We refuse to look at things. We want to blame other people for our situations. Like, you know, I'm having a hard time. It's like, I'd say it's all her fault. Like, I'm perfectly fine. No. Most of the time it's, you know, my fault. Or
drop the stigma about therapy. Like, everybody who's watching could benefit from one. You don't have to go. I'm not saying to go. I'm not saying not to go. I'm just saying that you don't have to be, like, on the verge of a mental breakdown to go see one.
That was probably the biggest mistake that we made.
We probably could have handled that a little better.
Yeah.
But
we got a couple questions. Tommy says about 2,000 listings, something ridiculous. Like, we have 800 listings. I think right now we're doing about 18,000 per month with about 800 listings. And I think at our prime, granted, we were doing a lot of sales, but we had lots of overhead. We had about 1,300 listings, and we were doing, I don't know, about $35,000 a month.
I don't even know what the big stigma is on amount of listings.
Yeah,
that says nothing about the success of your business.
Nothing. It's like,
I don't understand
like,
that.
Ooh, people like I see, I'm just like, oh, I've got 4,000 listings. I'm like, okay, you're
good
selling.
For you. What's your sell-through rate?
6 items a day. I'm like, how much inventory do you have sitting there?
Yeah,
that's just me. If it's any of you out there, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about somebody else.
The people who are not.
Danny May says, how old are I? am 39.
I'm 29.
She's 29. And I didn't run.
So basically, when he was old enough to drink, I was 11.
Yeah, I was in college. I was graduating college, and she was just became a teenager. Imagine, like, that's gross when you think about it like that. But she's awesome.
I wasn't just becoming a teenager. You graduated at 18. I was 8.
No, I said college.
Oh, college. Yes.
Yeah, 22. She was 12.
So, like, when I was for us to be legal to date, he would have had to have been 28.
Yeah.
So when I turned 18.
So we have 3 kids.
We have a 7-year-old, which she is like a little scientist. She's super, super smart, very awesome, like very like logical. She and Joe get along really well in that logic thing. And then Lucy is 3. She's our little girl. And she is, like me, very emotional. And then we have Lucas, who is 20 months, and he is a hurricane. Like, he's crazy.
Yeah. The house will be cleaned, and you'll go to the bathroom, and you'll come back, and the books are off the bookshelf. Everything in the living room is on the floor. Like, whatever's on the kitchen table is now on the ground. It's crazy.
And then he turns to you and he smiles, and you're like, oh my gosh, you are so cute.
Yep. And then jobs. I actually started work when I was 14 years old, working at a pizza place. I was the manager of the store on Sundays at 14 years old. I went to college. I worked in retail for a little while. General manager for Cracker Barrel, Starbucks, Chili's. I ran a local casual dining pizza company for a while. I did that at 29, had like 500 employees, 12 stores. So I did that. And then,
I didn't have that. I wasn't that exciting. I don't know. I had lots of like little summer jobs. I worked in retail. I worked at, on the Air Force Base here, doing some like rental equipment and everything like that for a little while. Then I became a manager of a clothing boutique, and then I found Jesus. I was like on drugs and like crazy stuff.
Jesus found her.
Jesus found me. No, he was always there.
Yeah, he didn't really
I
find
don't know,
something.
but I found Jesus, and I gave up everything and moved to Conway and became a preschool teacher at a Christian school. And it was kind of funny because it's like, I had to read about Zacchaeus so I could teach the kids about Zacchaeus because I had no idea who he was. But it was a very good experience. And then I met him while I was the preschool teacher. And then I quit my job and became a reseller after we got married.
I was like, quit your job. We'll make enough money. And then like we were broke for a long, long time. Like
that was broke. A bad idea. I probably should have stayed.
We were broke. Like it was crazy. Like because we couldn't talk. And
no communication.
Yeah, no communication. I remember I'd sold my truck to somebody, and they were paying me. I was paying the bank, and I missed like 2 months' bills because we needed groceries.
It was bad. It was real
they
bad.
came to repossess the truck, and he would just happen to be right down the road from our house, helping somebody move, and they repossessed it. I'm like,
bad mistakes.
Yeah. So like, we've been there. We've made mistakes.
We've made some pretty bad ones.
So awesome, Brian. It's a very interesting world. We've got like 5 minutes left before we have to go inside to let our nanny go home for the day.
I love hanging out with y'all.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, like, you guys are awesome. I like being around y'all and hanging out with y'all.
Yeah. So he was willing to do, Danny Mae, what other people were not. He was willing to position himself.
Uh-oh.
A lot of people, they don't want to position themselves for the opportunity, right? They just want to sit there and just hope to be found. It's like the man at the pool of Bethesda had just sit there, just day after day, waiting for somebody to put him in the pool. But Zacchaeus, he positioned himself for his miracle, for his opportunity. So,
yes, we do follow Chris, Lynn, Tommy. He's awesome.
Yeah, and we're good friends. We've become good friends where we talk and stuff. And he does change his business model a lot. And that's just because he's learning. Like, if you are an adult and you're not changing the way that you view things, then you're not challenging. You're not actually really sitting back and looking at life. And I know a lot of people, they give him, I wouldn't say a lot of people, but some people give him flack because it's like, well, he's wishy-washy. You know, one video he says this, but then 2 months later he comes out and says this. I'm like, yeah, because he's learning. He is learning how to do stuff. He's learning new ways. So, of course, when you're learning new ways, you're going to change your mind because you have found a better way. So that's part of it. And if you're not changing, like, you're not growing. Like, customers, eBay's changing, Amazon changing, buyers are changing habits, the way they do stuff. Like, if you're not changing your ways, then you're going to grow stagnant at some point. That's why I always see people in Facebook groups. They come in like, I've been selling at eBay since 1999 and I'm not doing good like I used to. Well, have you changed? But then you see kids who are coming in. Like, there's a reselling dude that's like 18. He lives 45 minutes from us, and he's doing like $6,000, $8,000 a month now, and he's been reselling like 4 or 5 months. It's because he's changing, he's learning, he's not stuck to an old model that no longer works. So,
absolutely,
maybe changing. That's it, simply. Then you gotta go and change.
If you're not willing to adapt, then everybody will change around you.
And the most successful people, they see the change. I guess there's really, they see the change before the change is really set in. Like, they see times are changing, so they're able to adapt themselves in their model to go with the flow to where they never miss a beat. They make a lot of money on the front end because they're changing. Then there's those people who they see it as it's occurring and they make the change and they're able to make money, not as much as the original people who changed faster. And then you have the people on the back end that they're changing at the moment, but then it's too late because the market's already changing.
The question you ask yourself is, are you reactionary or are you responding?
Yeah.
Because somebody who responds is something who sees something coming and they're prepared to respond properly. People who react are usually doing something, they may do something out of fear.
Yeah.
They're not logically thinking about things.
Yeah.
And in business, it's really, really important that you keep an eye on market trends and you keep an eye on what's happening so that you can respond appropriately and not react out of fear.
Yeah. But that takes you stopping what you're doing.
Be like, whoa.
And taking a step back to do research and look at what's selling and do all those things instead of just, well, sales aren't good, so I'm going to list. So then that's what people tell you. There's list. Your sales aren't good, list. Well, you just keep listing more stuff that people aren't buying. Then you go to the flea markets and you go to the thrift stores and you buy all this stuff to buy the higher profit margin stuff, because that's what you're told for people who don't have a lot of money. But then you just buy it and it's sitting on the shelf for a couple months. And instead of learning what's selling. So that's it. But I think we've got to go. It's 3:58.
I do love these Wednesday afternoons with you guys.
Yeah.
And
you can kind of Wednesdays at 3. Ooh, thank you, Mallory Delights.
That's exciting.
Thank
Yay.
you.
Merry
Thank
Christmas
you.
to us.
Yes. Thank you for that. And yeah, that's right, Gate City. The days of just marking it and waiting for it to sell are really over. Like, you've got to really buy things that people are wanting right now because it's always changing. So, yeah.
All right.
But we appreciate y'all. And
we really do.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are a fun group of people to hang out with.
Yes.
Thank you. Like it. Yes.
Thank you, Danny Mae. And you said your son was 21 or something like that earlier. I missed it. Somewhere. Turns 21 today, so happy birthday to your son.
Yay!
So that's awesome.
One of my CrossFit coaches turns 21 today, I think.
That's crazy. I don't know. It'd be so weird to be 21. Like, a lot of people say, let me be 18 years old again with what I know now. I'm like, I don't think I'd want to do that. Like, I
worked hard to be where I'm at.
There's just something about, like, it's like I'm 39. I'm almost
I'll take the mistakes.
40. But, like, life is still new and fresh. So we'll leave that. What were we going to say? We're going to say something?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. You guys have a wonderful weekend.
Yes. We appreciate y'all.
Eat lots of turkey.
Yeah, and we'll see y'all next Wednesday. And I think we got a video coming out maybe Friday.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So appreciate y'all. How do you turn it off on your phone?
I don't know. We don't know how to end it, so
we're going to be here for forever.
I don't know how to end it. We don't normally use this phone. Here, turn it the other way and see. Sorry, guys. Other way.
You maybe. Oh, you hit the X button. Bye-bye. Have a good day.